The camera fades in through the dimly lit corridors of a massive military base. A janitor, wearing a worn-out uniform and pushing a squeaky cleaning cart, hums quietly to himself. His name tag reads, Mark Davis. No one looks at him twice. To them, he's just another man sweeping floors, mopping halls, and taking out the trash. But tonight, everything was about to change. If you're watching this right now, don't scroll away. Because what happens next will make you believe in fate, honor, and second chances. Stick around till the end, it's worth every second. And hey, if this story moves you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who believes that heroes never fade, they just wear different uniforms. It was 2 a.m. at Fort Blackwell, one of the most secure Navy research facilities in the country. Mark had just finished mopping the main hallway when alarms suddenly blared. A convoy of armored vehicles screeched to a stop outside. Soldiers rushed in, boots thundering against the tile floor. Then came a voice over the intercom, stern, commanding. Greater than, all units, prepare for inspection. The general is on base. Mark didn't flinch. He'd seen a lot of inspections over the years. But something about this one felt different. Within minutes, the hallway filled with officers standing stiffly at attention. Then the doors opened, and General Matthew Stone, a legend in the armed forces, stepped in. He was tall, battle-hardened, his uniform decorated with medals. His eyes scanned the room, sharp, cold, missing nothing. And then, for a reason no one could understand, his gaze stopped on Mark, the janitor. Greater than, you there, the general said. Step forward. The room fell silent. Mark hesitated, unsure if he'd done something wrong. He pushed his cart aside and walked up slowly. Soldiers exchanged confused glances. Why was the general talking to a janitor? Greater than, what's your name? Mark Davis, sir. You're not on my personnel list. I just cleaned the floors, General. The general studied him for a long moment. Then, almost hesitantly, he asked. Greater than, son, what's your call sign? Everyone froze. A janitor wouldn't have a call sign. But when Mark lifted his eyes, there was something in them. A shadow of battles long fought, and losses too deep to speak of. His voice came quiet, but steady. Greater than, Iron Ghost, sir. The general's face went pale. The clipboard in his hand trembled. Around them, whispers rippled through the ranks. Iron Ghost. That name wasn't supposed to exist. It belonged to a soldier who had died 12 years ago, a classified operative, the kind that never made it into history books. The general stepped closer. That's impossible, he muttered. Iron Ghost was reported Kia in Operation Silent Dagger. Mark gave a faint smile. Reports aren't always right, sir. And in that moment, the general's composure cracked. Because he remembered Iron Ghost. The man who led a Black Ops rescue deep in enemy territory. The one who stayed behind to cover his team's escape when their helicopter went down. The one who disappeared, leaving nothing but silence and a legacy. Later, in the general's office, Mark told his story. After that mission, he'd been found half dead in a border village, his body broken, his memory fragmented. The military declared him dead to protect the mission's secrecy. When he recovered, he didn't go back. He couldn't. His wife had passed away while he was gone, and the only thing left was his 6-year-old daughter, Lily. So he took the only job he could find near her school, cleaning the very base he once commanded missions from. The general sat there in silence, eyes glistening. Why didn't you come back? He finally asked. Mark's answer was soft, but it hit like a thunderclap. Greater than, because the world didn't need a soldier anymore. It needed a father. The next day, the general arranged a full meeting with the command staff. Soldiers stood in rows, confused. Then, before everyone, he called out. Greater than, attention. Present arms for Lieutenant Colonel Mark, Iron Ghost, Davis. Gasps echoed. Mark froze, tears welling in his eyes as the same soldiers who'd ignored him yesterday now saluted him. The general placed a hand on his shoulder and said, Greater than, you've done more for this nation than anyone will ever know. It's time the world remembers who you are. But Mark shook his head gently. Greater than, sir, I'm not here for medals or rank. I just wanted to raise my daughter right, to teach her what honor means. That's all I need. The general smiled. Then let me do one thing for you, soldier. That afternoon, a black SUV pulled up outside Mark's small apartment. Lily ran to the window, wide-eyed, as men in uniform stepped out, carrying a folded flag, a metal case, and a plaque. The plaque read, "To Iron Ghost, the soldier who disappeared, but never stopped serving." Mark's daughter hugged him tightly, whispering, "Dad, are you really a hero?" He smiled, eyes glistening. "No, sweetheart. I'm just your dad. Dash dash dash." The story ends with Mark watching the sunset from his porch, his old uniform neatly folded beside him. He wasn't looking for recognition anymore. The world could call him Iron Ghost or a janitor, it didn't matter. What mattered was that he had finally found peace. And as the screen fades to black, a final line appears.